Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, I thought we'd just do a general collective reading for all of my beautiful starseeds, light workers, everybody who watches this channel. You see how the Starseed Oracle just fell open for me right there? It's ready to go. Yeah, so this is going to be a timeless reading. Whenever you find it is the right time for you. I may date it when I publish it, but clear. We all know that time is fluid, and we all connect with the messages we're meant to connect with in the perfect timing for us. So whenever you are finding this reading, welcome. We're going to see what our beautiful star sisters and brothers have to share with us. What guidance, what messages want to come through for the collective, for which I channel at this time. What do we have going on? A lot, right? All right. First two cards out, we have Empathic Starseed, Energetic Sovereignty, Absorbing What's Not Yours. And then we also have You Got the Love, Hadarian Energy, Codependency, Boundaries. All right, so these cards coming out together. This is a big energy. This is really kind of like restating the same thing twice, right? Which means that this is an energy that we're really experiencing heavily. We're learning this, and we have been learning for quite some time, right? How to set boundaries, how to reinforce those boundaries, how to identify, right, when and where it is necessary to create boundaries. And so this is a check-in point right now for people. Where are you when it comes to this process, right? What have you learned? How have you been able to set those boundaries in your life? Have you been able to? Are there areas where you're still struggling with this? And it's really, really important right now, above all else, that we set these boundaries and we uphold these boundaries. And these aren't just the boundaries that we set with other people. This is an energetic thing. All right, because when our energetic boundary is not strong, we're constantly absorbing energy that doesn't belong to us. Right? As empaths, we are highly sensitive, right? This is a hallmark of an empath, to be absorbent of energies. And so when we are, and a lot of us, we are sort of transmuting these energies, right? This is something that we came here to do for the collective. We came here to be a powerhouse of energy, to hold a certain energetic frequency so that we can uplift the planet with that, with our core frequency, with our signature frequency. But we also came here to transmute lower density energies into more usable energies. This is actually an interesting thing that started coming through a while ago, which was this understanding that we are able to actually utilize lower density energies as fuel. Once we learn this process of alchemizing, this process of transmuting energy, we can actually tap into that energy and use it to create more beneficial energy, more high vibrational energy. This is something that we all naturally do to one extent or another. But we still want to be careful. We want to be careful. It's like they're saying the way that we're going about this. When we have an attachment to energy, we're unable to transmute it. It's unable to move through because it gets sticky, right? And that's where this energy of codependency comes in. All right? It's and so what they're reminding me right now is stuff that I always tell my students when I'm teaching the Reiki or Belvaspata or any type of energy healing to them. It's one of the things that I learned working with energy. I spent a really long time as a healer and an energy worker, and I think that this is important because I think there's a lot of people who watch this channel who do work, whether you do Reiki, you do some other type of energy work, right? Even if it's not a traditional type of energy work, you work in social services, even in customer service, right? You're still doing energy work. Every time you interact with another being, because we are such powerful energetic beings, we are doing energy work. right? We're taking in, we're transmuting energies, we're alchemizing energies, we're bringing things to the surface for people to see, for people to look at. We're helping to shift people's vibration. All right, this is what we do naturally. So regardless of whether you identify yourself as a light worker or an energy worker, you do energy work. If you're watching this video, you do it whether you realize it or not. And so something that I had to learn early on, because I had a tendency to take on people's energy. I did not set that intention. It was something I actually specifically set the intention not to, right? Which the universe doesn't understand not, right? But now I'm being reminded as I'm saying that out loud. But I was doing it. And one of the biggest reasons that I took on energy was because I had a personal investment on whether or not the person got better, right? I had a certain outcome that I was attached to for every single one of my clients. And that attachment got stronger when I worked on family or I worked on somebody else that I had a close energetic connection to begin with, right? That attachment was what was causing me to take on the energy. Yeah, so that's what they really want to talk about right now. They want to talk about the energy of attachment. Where is it that you are attached to a specific outcome, right? In relationship, when it comes to working with clients, if that's something that you do, when it even comes to like the ascension process itself, are you very attached to a certain outcome for humanity? Are you extremely attached to a certain outcome in a certain situation? Wherever it is in your life that you're experiencing that attachment and that need for things to go a certain way, you're being asked to release that attachment. We're being asked to look at where we have attachments, period, and what those attachments are based out of. Attachment is always based out of need, right? It's always based out of lack. If I am full, if I am operating from a mindset of abundance as opposed to a mindset of scarcity, then I don't have to worry about not having enough. I don't have to worry about whether you're there or not, whether you're going to be there, whether this job is going to be there, whether yada, 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 what have you, right? Because I know I'm always taken care of. I know that I always have enough. I'm always full on my own, so I'm not dependent on the outside things to fill me and attached to them and attached to their presence in my life because I'll feel empty without them because I don't know how to fill myself. So this is also a really important time for us to be learning it. Do I know how to fill my own cup? Do I know how to keep my own cup full? And do I know how to identify when someone or something is draining my cup, draining my life force energy, right? I talked about this the other day, I think on the live that I did, how I was shown this continuum almost. It was similar to like the vibrational scale, but it was a life force scale. And I was shown how every action, not just every action, but really every thought, right? Every word that I speak, everything either raises or lowers my life force energy, right? And it's constantly moving back and forth. And so think about this, every interaction that we have, every time we have an attachment, that energy is draining to our life force. It's moving us down into the negatives in this life force continuum. So we want to make sure that we are being able to identify where it is that we have these attachments, where it is that we are not filling our own cup, we are depending on others to fill our cup, or others are depending on us and they are draining of our life force energy, right? And when that is happening, we need to stop it, right? We need to cut that off. That's what I do. This is a really quick, simple technique that I learned in Theta healing to disconnect my energy. The idea is this is our energy, this is mine, this is yours, right? So where do I need to break off this energetic connection? And how can I remind myself that it's not a cruel thing to do, right? A lot of times we're trained to think that if somebody needs something from us and we don't give it to them, that's self-centered, that's selfish, that's cruel. But really, we're then giving them the opportunity to learn how to get that for themselves. They're never going to learn if they're always getting it from you. Why would they try to get it from, why would they try to figure it out for themselves if you're going to figure it out for them, right? It's that kind of an energy. So we really want to look at that. We want to look at where other people have attachments that are unhealthy. And remember, attachment really is always unhealthy. And where it is that we have these attachments. We want to look on both sides of that. And we want to make sure that we're coming from a place of fullness as well as the other people in our lives. Right? We want to understand this. We want to pay attention to where it is that we are perhaps asking or allowing something or someone else to fill our cup when it's really our responsibility to do that for ourselves. And we're taking that responsibility back. And we're really paying attention to what we're absorbing that doesn't belong to us. And so we want to pay attention to our energy and whether, and the concept of our energy, right? Is it really your energy or is it somebody else's? I've mentioned this before from time to time, this really interesting thing that I learned at one point where somebody taught me that sometimes even the thoughts I have are not my own. Sometimes if I'm around a lot of people or I'm really tapped into somebody else's energy, I could be taking on their own thoughts and identifying them as my own. Right? Like this energetic sovereignty thing, it goes deep. There's a lot of ways that empaths take on energy without realizing. And we take it on. So this is the key. This is what they want me to really point out here. We take it on when we identify with it. When we call it our own. Right? And so this is the difference when we're transmuting and alchemizing energies. We know that they don't belong to us. Right? So we're able to let them move through us. We're able to help assist them in changing forms and moving to a higher form. When we mistakenly believe that something is ours, when we attach to it, that's when we absorb it. Instead of moving through, it gets stuck. All right? So it's the identification. And even if this is something that we truly feel does belong to us, it's going to belong to us. It's going to be ours. It's going to be part of us until we can release that belief. Right? It doesn't have to. We can rescind ownership at any time. And it's so important to understand that when it comes to a belief structure, when it comes to a limiting habit or thought pattern, we can rescind ownership of that any time. Right? We get to make that choice. Right? Remember, everything in this reality, we are choosing. Even if it doesn't feel like it, we are choosing. And so really making that conscious decision to disidentify so that we're not absorbing. Right? And this can also help as we're releasing and clearing our own energies. If you guys want assistance clearing energies or with any of this stuff, reach out to me. I do a whole bunch of different things. It's all in the description box below. But yeah, this is really, really important right now. For us to stop absorbing what's not ours and to understand and be able to step into this role as what we are, which is an energetic powerhouse where we are alchemizing and transmuting and transforming energies without getting stuck in these energies, without absorbing them and taking them on as our own. All right? This applies to stories as well. The stories you tell yourself, you are owning. So let go of that, release that. Yeah, I feel like honestly, that's the message that wants to come out right now. Is to really, we're all being asked right now. And we're seeing this, right? We've got this huge balancing of the masculine and feminine energies going on this month. We've got that conjunction of Mars and Venus, which is pretty much going to take us straight through March. They don't normally stay conjunct for this long. It's really powerful. They're gonna have a triple conjunction on the 3/3 portal with Pluto. They're gonna be conjunct during that full moon in Leo. I mean, we got a lot of those energies, right? And a lot of relationship energy as we move through this 2 energy of February, right? So we're really looking at that, and there are a lot of aspects when it comes to relationships as well where this codependency shows itself. Right, but it shows itself in more places than that. So notice and pay attention to where this lack of boundaries, where this codependency is showing itself, all the different areas, and how it is that we can tighten that up. Right? How is it that we can release some of that energy and step more deeply? This is like when it comes, they're wanting me to talk about relationships right now to end this because they really want us to understand. This card is called You Got the Love. It's all inside of you. Find it inside of you. Whatever it is that you are seeking, find it inside of you first. And then you will find it in the outside world. Whatever it is, it's within you. All that you seek, all of the treasures of the palace reside inside. All right. All right, I love you guys. You're amazing. You're so beautiful. I hope that you enjoyed this little mini reading, this collective message. I trust that it's going to find you exactly when it's meant to. I did talk about some recent energies that we have going on, but the message itself is timeless. So whenever you heard this is exactly when you were meant to hear it. You guys are incredible. I love you. I appreciate you so much.